Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm here today with a butterfly birthday card. This is a case study, and the project that I am copying is by Amy Rysavy at Prairie Paper and Ink. I love the embossed background, the ink-blended butterfly bodies, the vellum wings, the gold drops, and just the overall joyful feel of the project. Found it very inspirational, so even though I don't own any of these products, I think I can recreate this from my stash. So that is today's challenge. I started out with some ink blending. Now, I don't have a sticky mat, so I left my die cuts in the background. Sometimes that takes a copious amount of washi tape, but I do find it easier than trying to ink blend on a tiny die cut. The main thing that I took from the ink blending process, though, as I got out all these different brands of ink pads, is how much I really like linen-wrapped felt pads and how much I dislike the foam pads. Maybe I'm too rough with my supplies, but I find the foam pads a little delicate, and those linen-wrapped felt pads are just so sturdy and so reliable. So I've got some old style Stampin' Up! Pads, which are the linen-wrapped felt. I have some of the newer style, which are foam, and I think they've come out with even a newer style, but I don't have one of those yet. So if you have a preference between ink pads, I'd really be curious to know what it is. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, I went through and did the ink blending for the die cut pieces and tried to get a little color variation on the butterflies and on the leaves that are used in the background. I think that really added to the project, and I definitely wanted to recreate that element. Once I had everything ink blended, I had some extras, and so I was going back and forth and fiddling around and trying to decide what I liked best. And one thing I didn't care for in the original is I don't really like a white and cream color combination. I really like cream on a cream card or white on a white card. And so that's one place where I definitely deviated on purpose. Once I picked out the elements I liked, I set the others aside. I will just use those on another project or in a journal. And then I went on to do a little bit of gold spatter. Now, Amy used some gold glitter drops. I don't happen to have any of those, so I just did the watercolor bit. Very easy to do with a little wet watercolor and a brush. And then even if you mess up, I did have a big glob that fell on my project, but I put the sentiment right over it, and now you can't see it. So that worked out. So after I did my little bit of final assembly, I think the final card turned out really cute. I love the texture that spatter adds to the background. And I think I captured that joyful feel of the original. So when I compare my final card to Amy's original, I think I captured the ink blending and the vellum leaves and the joyful feel. So I certainly enjoyed the process. I hope you did too. And I thank you for joining me today.